So today we're going over our dividing fractions study guide. So I know it's been a really long time with track out of when we've done this, but a lot of you were very successful with this before we tracked out. So let's do a little bit of review so that we can be ready for an assessment coming up. So first let's look at what it is they're asking us to do. You have to apply. That means you have to take what you know and do something with it, and extend previous understandings of division. So I'm going to divide a unit fraction by whole numbers and whole numbers by unit fractions. So fraction divided by whole and whole divided by fraction. So we have to interpret division and compute such a quotient. Compute means to work it out. So first I have 1/6 divided by 3. We always draw the first number, so I have to draw 1/6. So I'm going to have a box. I'm going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to make it look like 1/6. Okay, now, so I did this part. Now I have to divide by 3. So I'm going to cut it the other direction into 1, 2, 3 parts. So how much does each person get? 1 out of how many? How many total parts do I have? Some of you know exactly what that's going to be because you remember how we multiply. There are 6, 12, 18 parts. So here's my answer. Remember, you should be thinking about what did we do in class when we did this. Remember we took a fig Newton, we cut it into 6 parts. We only had one of them, but we had to keep all the fig Newtons out, and then we cut them into thirds and we gave this to one person, this part to another, and this one to another. Alright, so let's look at number 2. They already have this. This is a picture, but what does this represent? This represents 1/3, and I'm cutting it into 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. How much does each person get? 1 out of 4, 8, 12. Okay, so we did this in small groups too. We have to make a story problem that matches the fraction. Make a story problem that matches it. Okay, so I'm going to do this one right above me. If you did 1/6, that's okay. So, I'm going to say Mia has 1/3. Oh, goodness, dogs are barking like crazy this morning. Has 1/3 of a cake left over. Okay, I have to let a dog out. I tried to close one of the dogs up in a room so she wouldn't bark. Shelby's normally the one that barks during videos. I tried to put her away so she wouldn't bark, but she found that she's just going to bark from the other room, which caused the other dog, Mac, to bark. Anyway, let's get back to this. Mia has 1/3 of a cake left over. She wants to, of course I have pen problems too. Alright, let's see if this one works. She wants to share her cake with 4 people. So she wants to split it, she wants to share it, she wants to divide it out. Those are all division words. She wants to share her cake with 4 people. How much does each person get? How much does each person get? So there you go. I'm starting with what I was starting with. I'm telling you how many people she's sharing it with. And then she's asking how much each person gets, the question. All right, let's look at the next one. So this time I have whole numbers that I'm dividing by fractions. So you should have drawn 3 boxes. I did the first one, and I'm dividing them into 6. 6 parts, 6 parts. Huh, that's not interesting. I divided that the other direction. I'm not sure why I did that. So how many total parts do I have? I have 6 parts, plus 6 parts, plus 6 parts. Total of 18 parts. Remember, if I start with a whole, I end with a whole. Start with a whole, end with a whole. So this one, they've done it for you, but instead of numbers, they've done the model. You have 4, and you're dividing it into thirds. So I'm going to split them into thirds. How many total parts do I have? 3 parts, plus 3 parts, plus 3 parts, plus 3 parts equals 12 parts. Equals 12 parts. So now I need to create a story problem that matches this. I'm going to do the one right above it because you can see it. I have 4 boxes of cereal. I have 4 boxes of cereal. 1/6 of a box is a serving. So I have 4 boxes, 1/6 is a serving. How many servings can I eat? So starting off with 4 boxes of cereal, I have 1/6 of a box of serving. How many servings can I eat? Alright, so here we have some mixed problems. We're not sure which one's which. So we have to figure that out. So up here it's asking us to solve real world problems. That's what I'm doing. Using division of fractions. So Maria has 1/4 of a yard of fabric. She cuts it into 3 equal pieces. Cutting it up. What fraction of a yard does she have? So this is what she started with. She's cutting it into 3 pieces. What do I have? So I'm going to start with 1/4. Starting with 1/4, I'm going to cut it into 3 pieces. How much does each person get? Each person gets 1 out of 12. 1 out of 12. Let's look at the next one. Brandon's going to soccer today for 1/3 of a day. While he's there, he plans to do 6 drills. If he spends equal amount of time, making it split into equal amount of time, that's an action phrase that's telling me I have to divide it into equal times. How much of the day is he spent on each drill? What am I starting with? I'm starting with 1/3 of a day. He's splitting it into 6 drills. What do I get? Let's draw it out. Draw the first fraction, the first number, first item. I have to split it into 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. How much of the day does he spend on each drill? Each drill gets 1. I know my pattern. 3 times 6 is 18. 1/18. Joseph, a park ranger, is allowed to use half a lake. Half a lake. What's that? Half. He divides, there you go. There's my action word. He divides this part of the lake into 4 equal lanes for his canoe racers. What fraction of the lake? It even tells me my answer is going to be a fraction. So I have half a lake. I'm dividing it into 4 lanes. What do I have? Draw your picture. Half a lake. Now cut it the other direction into 4. And I should have 1 out of how many parts? 1 out of 8 parts. Max is building a tree house. He has a piece of wood that's 6 feet long. That's what I'm starting with. How many 1/5 foot pieces can he cut from this piece of wood? So I'm cutting it up. That's kind of my action of what I'm doing. I'm starting with 6. He had 6. And each piece is going to be 1/5 of a foot. Get 6 feet. What's my answer? So I need to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I need to cut each one into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm cutting these into pieces. So how many do I have? I have 5 here, 5 here, 5, 5, 5. 6 groups of 5 gives us 30. How many 1/5 foot pieces of wood can you cut from it? 30. All right. How many 1/3 cup servings are there in 9 cups? So I'm starting with 1/3 cup servings. I have messed this up. Are there in 9 cups? I fell for the trap of this one's first, this one's second, but that's not what the problem is asking me to do. What do I have first? Do I have a third sitting there? No. I have 9 cups. I have a big bag of 9 cups of trail mix. And I have to see how many servings there are in it. So I'm starting with 9 cups. Don't let this trick you up because this was written first. If you did that, you didn't fully read the problem. So let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I have to cut them into thirds. Remember, whole divided by fraction requires no highlighting. So I have my 9 cups and I fit them into thirds. My shortcut here, 9 times 3 is what? 27. So I have 27 servings. 27 servings. It's finally springtime and Mrs. Marnick is ready to plant crops in 6 gardens of her backyard. Each crop takes up 1/4 of the garden. How many different crops be able to plant? So there wasn't a very good action word in here that told me what to do, but I know that there's 6 of them. And if I'm planting crops, I'm splitting up my garden. So kind of when I rephrase that, I know I'm splitting up my garden, and there's my action phrase. I'm splitting up my garden. So I'm starting with 6 gardens, and I'm splitting it up into things that take up 1/4 of a garden. So let's draw that out. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll split them into fourths. So how many crops can I fit? 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24. I can fit 24. So I hope this has refreshed our mind about how successful we were with dividing fractions before we tracked out. So next week, and I know it's on Monday, but I really think if we spend our time reviewing this week, everybody will be ready for this. So we just have to, it's just going to be on dividing fractions, and we're going to practice this in class tomorrow.